everyone, and welcome to today's webinar on your best practices for setting up and managing your CrossLink online account. So we will be covering a few different topics today, and what those topics we'll be going over are benefits of CrossLink Online, managing your account, office, and preparer setup. So I'm going to be teaching you the hierarchy of CrossLink Online and how it's really a good advantage for you to be able to log in with one login and access these different levels. Then we're going to have features that help you run your tax business. So we're going to get started with the benefits. So as I mentioned, we have a hierarchy within CrossLink Online. You have an account level, your office level, your preparer level, and then of course tax returns. But with CrossLink Online, you can do everything with your account code login, and that's your account level. So you could be fully remote and have 100% control of your business. With it being remote and online, it's available on both Mac and PC computers, and available on all different types of the browsers, the main browsers out there, Chrome, Firefox, Edge. We really want to be universal with our online application and letting you guys, as long as you have that strong internet connection, access your tax software. And then we promote growth. You can easily grow from a single office to somebody who has multiple eFINs underneath their online account, and with a matter of minutes being able to create those offices. So I'm going to toggle into the software right now and just introduce you guys to what online has. So here with CrossLink Online, we do offer a co-branded package. So you would either be going to crosslinkonline.com to access the tax software application, or if you do have co-branding, you would be going to myonlinetaxoffice.com. And your logo would actually take in place of our CrossLink logo here. When you do log in, just some quick tips. Passwords expire every 90 days. You guys will get emails and notifications letting you know that 90 days is coming upon and you need to go ahead and reset your password. And we do have two-step verification. The IRS is implementing a lot of the tax software to start having that two-factor authentication, and we've integrated that when we released online. And to go through that process when you first activate your login, and just know any login, any individual that's going to have access to your tax software will need to go through these processes. So they will first create a password, and when they click log in, they're going to be asked to verify their account. And to verify your account, you have two options of using a Google Authenticator app. I have it built into my browser with Chrome. So as you see here, I have a few different logins and I have verification codes populating for different ones. So you can have the app on your phone or on your browser, or a little maybe simpler way, you can get it sent to you via email. So when I click login, it's going to bypass my authentication there, and I know it's a quick screen, but you do have the option of choosing via app or email. And then if you got the code via email, you would just go ahead and copy and paste it. Very simple, but just know you don't always have to authenticate. It's normally, I saved it once we released the new tax year, exciting yesterday, but we can save your device and you don't have to authenticate every single time you log in. So what we're looking at here is the CrossLink Online dashboard page. And just to go over a little bit of the lay of the land before I get up into the setup of each page. So on your left-hand side here, we call this your side navigation bar. And that's where you will be able to access different pages throughout the application. You'll have dashboard, offices, tax returns, maybe you'll see preparers, depending again, what point of that hierarchy we're at. But just know to get into any of those navigations, you need to go ahead and click on them on your side navigation bar here. And then anytime you always want to go back to your home page, you're going to click on dashboard. Anytime you want to get into setup, whether your account level, your office level, it's always located in the same spot for you. It's located under account settings on the side nav bar at the bottom. And if sometimes you're getting into your screen, you could be on a smaller laptop or smaller screen, and you feel like that might take up too much real estate, go ahead and hit the collapse, and now it made it on the icon view. But you can always open and close that as you would like. The main page here, I'll get into the widgets a little bit later. I know they're really nice to look at, but I will touch base on them when we talk about our different features. But your main page is always going to either display widgets to you on your dashboard, or it can show you your recently viewed accounts, offices, or even preparers. Again, this is going to change depending on the point of the hierarchy that you are at. And then we have some search features at the top here. So we have, when you click on search, again, in the height of season, you can be needing to look up a tax return. Maybe it's a preparer to see their tax returns, but you can filter through the different categories of offices, preparers, and tax returns by using this search feature right here. And as I start typing in an office name, I can start typing Xlinks, one of my offices, and I can click Xlink tax, and it's going to bring me into that office. Or I can switch this to preparers, and I can start typing in a preparer's name. I have a few preparers here, and I can go into their level. So that search feature is really nice. It is an enhancement we released a few months ago, and I don't think a lot of people take advantage of it, but just start using that search feature, and it's going to allow you to navigate a little bit quicker. Our help menu. Help menu can show you quick links to different tools or websites that we have available throughout the application. What's new here is that we do have a knowledge base released. So if you do see the knowledge base options, it will show you different how-to articles for CrossLink Online or maybe bank enrollment, our portal. So you can really take advantage of those articles. And then we have the profile menu. Anyone who clicks on their name on the upper right-hand corner, it's called the profile menu. This profile menu has different settings that pertain to the login individual. So I have a login, and if I have a manager, she has a login. Our login preferences can be different. But just know the profile menu is really important for a few items. You will be able to switch your tax years. As I said, we did release tax year 2021 yesterday. So if you need to do any prior year returns, you will click switch tax year, and then you will have the drop-down list for you there. And then when I click back on my menu, you have options like to update your password. If you missed a QR code for the two-step verification, you can click on that and it would generate the QR code for you. And then we have training mode and your login preferences. And then I'll come back to this menu, the profile menu, when we get into the office setup. So for now, let's talk a little bit more about our account level. So within that, what can we do at our account level? The account level is where you manage your business. This is your business, you own a tax shop, and this is where you can create either accounts or offices. Depending on the different account that you have, because we have service bureau accounts or multi-office accounts. A service bureau account can create additional accounts underneath them, and then multi-office accounts create single offices underneath them. And a single office is just an office with one EFIN. So this is where you will go ahead and you start building your business with CrossLink Online. We will go ahead and create your offices, and then we also manage your licensing. So managing license is extremely important because each office needs to have a license. And where you apply that or you mark that license as active is at your account level. Now, you may ask, how do I get to the account level? Well, when you signed up for CrossLink Online or CrossLink, you do have an account code. Your account code is associated with the account level. That's where you build your business. So just go ahead and log in with CrossLink Online using your account code, and you will find that you're at the account level, and you'll be able to create your offices, view your offices, and manage your licensing. Also at the account level, you can look up quick tax return information. So it is a collection point where you can see all the different tax returns underneath your account level from all different offices. But just note that we would not be able to create tax returns or open a tax return at the account level. I'm going to quickly just toggle back in, and I'm going to show you exactly how that looks. So again, at the account level, I logged in with my own account code here, and the first thing I mentioned was creating offices. So when you do navigate onto the Offices tab here of the side navigation bar, you will see the blue button that says Create New Office. And for some of you, majority, or probably multi-office account owners, you'll probably see that right there on your dashboard, the first thing you log in. When you hit Create New Office, for just demonstration purposes, you do create what's called an Office Admin Login. That login would be specifically for that individual office. Okay, so just to point that out there, I know that can be a bit, you're getting an additional login if you do own that EFIN, but just know it's a login for that office. And then you fill out everything here on this page, and then once you do, you will then see that office appear for you on your dashboard. So as you see, I have 9 different offices, 9 different EFIN per office, and I can see each one of them at my account level. And I mentioned that factor of what we call drill down, which I will demonstrate in a few moments. But once you create your office, which is step 1, right? We log in, we activate step 1, create your office. Step 2 I mentioned was managing your licensing. Where do you find that? Is underneath your account settings. Account settings is a little bit shorter than what we get into an office setup, but just know logins at the account level should be your business partner. It should be somebody that's running the business with you, and they're going to see everything at its whole. They can see, your offices and drill down and see everything. But if you have preparers, if you have an office manager, a receptionist, all those logins are going to go at the office level. If you purchased co-branding, this is where you would also apply your logo. So here you will see co-branding, and then if you have that option, you can go ahead and upload your logo, and then it will generate on our homepage of CrossLink Online or myonlinetaxoffice.com. It will generate for you once you saved your logo, and that will also show where it appears in the application. And then the last thing to touch really on the setup here is your licensing. So you saw I have 9 offices, but I only have 3 licenses right now. Some licenses will auto-generate for you, and it will look something like this. We will click Add a License. As you saw, I just clicked that button there. And then you'll see the code, and then it will show you our tax. This is our season 2022. And then it says unused. If you see your license says unused, then we need to click the Assign button. By clicking Assign, you will now see the list of your offices that you've created, and you can go ahead and assign a license to that office. Now remember, licensing is important because it allows you, A, to enter into that office and start your tax returns. So each office does need a license. So go ahead, select the office that you want to make active, and click Save. Now I've assigned my Florida license active. Now I can go into that office, and I can start doing my setup and my tax returns and everything. So just note, if you're missing this step, especially with the release yesterday, go ahead and go into your account settings under Manage Licensing and assign your licenses. And now we'll click Close. So I covered here at the account level, we create our offices, and then we assign our licensing. And I just want to touch on that tax returns tab, because I know we're all going to click on it, and you'll see that it is actually grayed out. And it would tell you return creation is not done at the enterprise level, the account level. But how did I mention you guys can look up that tax return information? By simply, when you click over, you hover next to the taxpayer's name, you can go ahead and click on this down arrow. The down arrow will now display the tax return information to you, whether it's a federal or state refund, the bank status, or the IRS status. You can go ahead and at least see that quick information for that taxpayer and relay that information. If you do need to open up that tax return or go to a specific page of it, then what we would do is click on your offices tab. Now I'm on my offices tab here. Again, it's telling me all the information I have for each office, and we have the down arrow for each office as well. So when I click on it, it's going to tell me, who's running that office, who's the admin of that office, their number, email, and everything like that. And what I call the drill down is called when you click on the view button. When you click view from your account level, we are drilling down into that office level. We do keep track of it at the breadcrumbs at the top where it says exit to my dashboard. That would bring me back to my account level, but it's also letting me know I am currently at office Amelbert Tax. And with that, let's go back to the PowerPoint so I can show what the office level has for you guys. So the office level, you are going to complete your office setup. What is office setup? That's where you add your billing, your prep fees, your ERO information, your preparers, your defaults for your print package. All of that is tied into that office setup because each office can have a different configuration. We can also create and transmit returns. I think I've said it a few times, but creation and transmitting of returns are always done at the office or preparer level. You will print your checks. You can view reports, or we can even build custom reports. You can manage your preparers. Again, going back to that drill down with the hierarchy level, I'll demonstrate how you can actually see what your preparers see when they log in. And then finally, you can review tax returns submitted by your preparers. And that's all done with our access levels, which I'll get into. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at that office level. So I'm in my office currently, Amelbert Tax. And now that you see on my side navigation bar here, it filtered a little bit. So I no longer see offices and accounts. I see preparers and tax returns right away. So it's going to show me that I can see the list of my preparers. The preparers are designated as those that have a PTIN. They have a PTIN, then we create them a preparer record. We have tax returns tab. Now that you'll see, this is where I can create tax returns at the office level by simply creating that new return button. And I'll come back to this page a little bit later on. We have our calendar where you create appointments, secure messages, your checks, and I want to touch on a bit of these when we get into these features. So going back to the setup, we have account settings at the bottom left, just like we do at the account level. But when I click on that, now it opened up that office setup for me. And this looks pretty familiar, where we enter in how you want the program basically to function behind the scenes for doing your tax return. What information do we want the program to auto-populate for you? So we have our office information, that this is now part of our required fields. So we do have the first 4 options of office, ERO, preparer, and billing that need to have that green check mark in order for you to start tax returns. So just know when you start your office, it's going to have some red dots there, but we always want to save our information, and then it would show a green check mark, and that means that you're now ready to start your tax returns. So just go through the information. How do you want it to read on your 1040 and 8879 here? That is how the returns overrides will populate this information for you. So just make sure everything is correct. And you know what's really nice too is we have this checkbox, same as office info. So I can uncheck it, and I can maybe, if I needed to call this a different address, I can change that. But if it's going to mimic my office information, I just check mark the box here, and it's going to auto-populate that info for me. And then you're going to just go through in the order, and you can go ahead and save the information, your ERO information, right? And then we have your preparer information. So these are my preparers that have PTINs. Okay, we create a PTIN record. So we want to make sure that you guys are going ahead and you guys are assigning PTIN records for your PTIN holders by just clicking Create New Preparer. When you hit Create New Preparer, you're going to go ahead and fill out all the red fields. Red fields are required. And this is just basically, putting in their name, their PTIN, email. And again, you can hit same as office main office info, and it pre-populates that information. So this way we know to populate that address on the tax return. But you fill everything in here, and I can just do a test one here. And you'll put in shortcuts, could be their initials for that preparer. You'll put in their PTIN, right? We're going to make sure we have a PTIN number in there. And then you put in preparer's name. So I'll just put in test prep and then an email here. Once you're done filling out your required fields, you can go ahead and click save. Now that preparer has been added to my list here on page 2, you can make sure that your preparers are capturing their signatures. This way, their signatures will populate onto the tax returns and they don't have to worry about printing and signing. So that feature is there for you. And then once you're done entering on all your PTIN holders, you hit Save and Next. When you get into your billing setup, so I know billing setup can sometimes be a bit of a troublesome area because there's so many different ways you can set up your billing. But just make it nice and easy. We always want to populate your office info by checking the box and click Set as Default. By setting it as a default, it will ensure that your prep fees will auto-populate onto the tax return for you. So click that button. Your e-fin fees come through with the bank application. So these are always going to be read-only. We want to make sure we submitted our bank apps. So this way, this is all generated into the software for you. And then right below here is where we have form billing. And as you see, when you click Add a Form, it opens up a table for you. And this table would display either all the federal forms as default, or if you need to get to a state, you can click on the drop-down and add your state. The best place to put your prices per state is, per form, is under the per item column. So you can just filter through the list. As you see, I have the W-2s, $15, and you can go ahead and just type in some prices that you're going to charge for each form. And then once you're done, you'll click Add. Just as a rule of thumb, some people just like to put a minimum price onto the tax return. If you have a max or a min charge, basically a default charge for your tax return, we suggest putting that on your 1040 under per item. So that means that every single tax return that has been started will be starting at that base price. And that would be all you have to do. Any additional fees or discounts, you could always do that on the invoice of the tax return. But once you put in your pricing, you'll click Add. Now it's added to our table here, and I can actually type into these fields and change them right here. But if there's ever any additional fees, you can always click on Add a Form. Down below, we have discounts, custom charges. So you can go ahead and put in some preloaded discounts here for you and have those populated on an invoice as well for you to be able to choose from. Now, when you're done with your billing, go ahead and click Save and Next. Again, we want to get all these green check marks to be populated for you. And this license has come from me assigning it at the account level. So just take that as a note that this will also be another area where you can check if an office has been activated or not. I want to go ahead and jump into logins. We went through our required options, but I just want to touch on logins because it's so important for you guys to understand that for anyone to have access to the tax software, they need a login. We do not want to share logins. It's an online application. You're going to lock each other out, and it's also not secure. So just make sure we are coming into logins and we're hitting Create New Login. When you hit Create New Login, you're going to determine the username for your taxpayer. You're going to put their name and their email address. Please put an email address for that individual because this is where the individual will get an email to activate their login. They'll create the password and go through the verification. So they need that email. We will also determine their access level. We have an array of access levels preset for you, and I just want to highlight two. Non-transmitting preparer is a preparer who has limited access to basically only do a tax return, but they will not transmit to the IRS, or they will submit for review. So when they click transmit, it's going to pop up, submit for review. And then that means the admin with that office can go in and review and transmit those returns. So we have an access level preset for you of non-transmitting preparer. If you have preparers who want to transmit, then you could go ahead and give them preparer/login. At any point that you want to take a look at these access levels, we can do so when we hit cancel. And we have the access levels drop down right below. These are our preset access levels. And as you see, I did create from some as myself. I have a custom one and I have a test one, but you can simply click add new and determine your own access levels. Okay, so that covers the office setup for right now. I just wanted to make sure we're understanding that office setup needs to be completed at the office level, and make sure you finish those required fields, because in order to do so, you need to be able to start a tax return. So I just hit close, and now went to my tax returns tab, and now this blue button would be grayed out if you didn't complete the setup. Once it's blue, you're good to go and you can start your tax returns. Last thing to cover at the office level is the profile menu. At the profile menu, you do have, again, your name will show. You can upload an image. Nobody sees it but you, so feel free. We have our mobile app ID, and that will go to TaxPass. I'll touch on that in a little bit. And then down below, you'll see the user ID information. If you're calling into technical support or chatting with them, they're going to ask for this user ID. So we do display it to every individual on the profile menu. Okay, so now let's recap what our office level has to offer. So I covered that we do have required setup pages that need to be created until you can do a tax return, and that's office setup, ERO setup, setting up your preparer PTIN numbers, your billing setup, and making sure each office has a license. Once you do all of that, you'll be able to start a tax return. Now looking at the preparer level. So what can your preparers do and see? We discussed that every individual needs a login to the application. And then for preparers, I covered that they need their PTIN record filled out first. So that is step 1. And step 2 will be creating their login. This way, when you are on that login screen, you can link their preparer record together, and the program would know to populate the preparer record, their PTIN, with their login on the tax return. So again, helping that auto population of data onto the tax return saves time, and it gets you doing your returns quicker. Okay, so now we have tax preparers. So again, going with that hierarchy, we have your account level, your office level. Now, what do your preparers see when they log in? The default is for them to only view their tax returns, and they can create tax returns. I did mention that access level. So definitely as you go through setting up, and if you're going through the onboarding experience with us here at CrossLink, we can definitely talk about customizing access levels that can provide additional features to your preparers. Maybe they want to see all the tax returns within the office. Maybe they do need access to transmitting but not viewing. We can definitely talk about that and discuss that anytime you call into support or go through the onboarding experience. But just know our default, when you create for preparers, they can view their tax returns and only submit tax returns. So what does that look like? When I go into the program now and I click on my preparers, I see a list of all my tax preparers here, and I can drill down now onto my name. Again, Priscilla. She's done 2 returns so far. So when you click view, now I am only at what your preparer will see when they log in. And their view of their dashboard is very condensed. It's limited. We broke up the stages of their tax returns for them between filed and paper filed, accepted, rejected, and any extensions. They only have tax returns on the left-hand side. You click on tax returns, then you will be able to see the 2 tax returns that Priscilla's done at her level. So when they call you up and say, I need help, you can simply click view on their name, open up the tax return, and see what's going on with that return in real life for them. It's just, again, look at all the levels that I am deep in right now at the breadcrumbs at the top here. I started at my account level. I logged in with my account code. I'm at the office level. And within that office, I am viewing a preparer's information. I'm at the preparer level for this person. And I can see their tax returns. I can click open. And when you click open, we did implement the shortcut page where you can now easily toggle into different areas of the tax return. And I'll just leave it off there because we do have an additional webinar next week on how to do a tax return, and I'll cover all of this. But just know at the preparer level, they do have the ability, if you have that access level, of submitting tax returns for review. And that's where I'll just leave this off of before we get into our features. So if I'm going to switch offices real quick, now I'm going to switch into my XLink tax office. And as you see, I just clicked exit to my dashboard, and now I'm back viewing all my different offices. And I'm going to click view on this office, XLink tax. Now, I know I haven't talked to, I'm about to talk into our widgets here with some of our features. So our widgets are showing you quick data about your business. Here at my office level, this widget is showing me my total tax returns. So within this widget, I have 4 returns that I've started for the year. And out of those, I have 1 return ready for review. So that means one of my preparers who had the access level of non-transmitting preparer, they submitted their tax returns for review. I'm the office admin, I'm the account owner, right? Now I'm in this office and my widget is notifying me that I have a return ready for review. So I can click on that, and now it filtered to just show me that 1 return. And now I'm able to open that return, review it, and transmit it. As you see at the top here, my tax returns tab, I can go back to my dashboard. I don't have to use the widget. I can simply click on the tax returns tab. And now I have this gold ribbon here that says 1 return ready for review, and I can filter that list if I need to. And now I can open that return and I can review it. What's really nice too, the only little thing I'll show here with this tax return is that you can reject returns for review. As transmitting the admin of the office, if this return, the preparer missed something, the birthday was incorrect, something that you need to teach them about, you could click the down arrow and reject return for review. By clicking on that, it will now take it out of that review status. And then the preparer can go back in and they can review that return for you. And as you see now, that gold ribbon disappeared. I no longer have a return to review. So again, letting you know where you need to pay attention to your business. And the features that will help you run your tax business here that we are going to start going over are widgets, reports, secure messaging, text messaging, remote signature service, TaxPass, and then PayJunction. So I'm just going to go ahead and switch into the program and go over the first few of these, and then we'll finish up with the PowerPoint. So I touched on our widgets. Widgets can be enabled when you first log in. You're going to see an option here called Add New Widget. When you click on Add New Widget, and I'm just going to switch my view here real quick, you're going to see the widgets available to you. So the notifications widget is going to show you our secure messages that you can message internally, and I'll touch on that next. But basically, all these widgets can be displayed to you to let you know the statistics of your office, where you need to draw your attention, how many returns have been rejected or pending. It's going to tell you quickly and accurately that information. And you can click free and install for each one of these. Once you do, they will look on your dashboard for you automatically. And at the account level, you do have this additional widget, View All Returns by Account or Office. So this is showing me all my 9 different EFINs here. And if I was, in the height of season, it would actually show me how each office is doing with the different statuses. And you can also filter some of these widgets. Every time you see a down arrow, I can switch, do I want this widget to show me my pending returns? And then I can switch that filter. So there are different filters for each of these widgets that you can specifically go to. Your widgets are also smart and interactive. And the best way for me to demonstrate this is at my account level. So far, my fees are showing me $254. So when I click into an office, my widgets will stay with me. And I click View. Now my fees widget dropped. It's now showing me $238. The data within your widgets are, as I say, interactive at the level that you are at. I am at the office level. Now this office is projected as they've made $238 dollars with their prep fees. When I click on a preparer that hasn't done any returns, they're going to go ahead and be interactive with that. So just know that widgets are mainly shown at the account level and the office level for those with the access level to have widgets. Preparers don't have widgets enabled with their access level, but if that's something you want, again, we can work on that. Quickly showing you guys the reporting that we have. Over at the office level on your side navigation bar, we have a category called reporting. When you click on the down arrow, we do have your quick reports listed for you here. And at any time, you can run a report. You can also build any report that you would like. By custom reports, clicking new report, you can go ahead and build a report based on any filter or any user status, anything that you're really looking for that helps you run your business. We can help you build a report for that. And it can be saved and you can run it every single day or once a month, but just know you can build your own reports here. Secure messages. Really nice tool. It's an internal messaging tool where you can message your preparers. If you're you're logged in at your account level, you can message your office administrator, and your preparer can message the office administrator or the account level. So basically, it is internal messaging between the platform. So you simply click New Message, and as you see here, you have your different groups depending on your login. If you're a preparer, you would just see Office and the Office admin. I can click my account, or I can click preparers, and I can message a specific preparer and just say, we have seasons coming up. Let's send out our marketing. And then when James logs in, he will now get notified that he has a message waiting for him. So secure messages is sending internal messaging between your preparers and your office staff. And just note that you can send text messages directly from the program by opening up your tax return, and as long as you gather their cell phone information, right? So we want to make sure that we are gathering their cell phone information here. And then they're opting in to receive text messages, so you'll mark an X. They're agreeing, they know they're going to receive messages. And then you also want to put in their carrier. So I can click Alt-C and get to my database, choose their carrier, whatever it may be. Hit select, and it will put the domain there for you. Once you do that, the text messaging feature will be available soon for you guys. We are running some updates with it, but just know you'll always be able to find it when you click on the blue arrow and then send text message. So that option will be available for you guys for season coming up. And then I'm going to finish up with the rest of the features that we have for CrossLink Online within the PowerPoint here. So what do we have next coming up is our remote signature service program. So we do allow you guys to opt into our remote signature service program, and that would allow for the availability for you to send a text message or email to your taxpayer to sign your documents. All you would simply do is on your tax return, you'll click signatures. And then as you see here in the screenshot, you're going to choose remote signature. And then you can choose email or cell phone. Once you do that and you click send, they will now send a link to them. It's secure. They log in with their first and last name, the last four of their social. They can review their documents, sign the tax return, and then everything would be stored for you within our document archive. And again, that document archive is a folder for each taxpayer where you can upload documents to, and we will store that for you all in the cloud. So it's helping you be paperless by utilizing Remote Signature Service Program and our document archive. And then we also have TaxPass. So TaxPass is our mobile app that you can market so your taxpayers can start their tax return for you, and then submit it to your office. So there is a tiny bit of setup for you guys to do, and it's really just generating your QR code. So again, you're going to go into office setup. It's always at the office level. And what that looks like is when you click on account settings, you go to mobile application, and now you will see mobile app ID. If you're just starting out, it's going to say generate QR code. Then it's going to populate this QR code for you. You can download it. You can print it on your marketing material. You could put an email address here. So this way, when a tax return has been submitted to your office, we will send you a notification saying tax return has been submitted. And then lastly, you can upload your logo. By uploading your logo, it will now show on the TaxPass app as your logo once your customer has put in the code. So just to recap, you generate the QR code under Office Setup, and then each office does have its own individual QR code. So please make a note. If you're somebody who's running 3 or 4 EFINs, each office has its own QR code. And then you upload your logo. And then how can you prepare and market TaxPass as well? Well, the profile menu I mentioned earlier, it has the mobile app ID there for them. So they can also hand out that code information to their taxpayers. Just to show you what the app has to offer, TaxPass is allowing your taxpayers to start and submit their tax return data. They would simply download the app on the Google or Apple Play Store. They would take pictures of their documents. They can upload, dependent's name and birthday, address information, anything that you may require. And once that's finalized and they click submit, that's when they would enter in that QR code. So I do get a lot of questions. The QR code does not download the app. Okay. Your taxpayer needs to download the app first, create their account, then scan or enter the code. Once they do that, they'll be able to submit everything. There'll be a submit button, and they can submit those options to your tax office. We also have messaging integration. So if they started their tax return with the mobile app, they can message their tax preparer, and their preparer can message them via the tax return. So we have messaging integration. And then how do you upload your tax return to the office? You're going to get notified again on that tax returns tab. At the top, you're going to see, just like we see here, one mobile return ready for import. It's going to notify you right there, and you can just click import. And we also display to you within that blue arrow on the right of the new return button, you can click TaxPass mobile retrieval. And it will show you a whole table of your tax returns that you've imported or are waiting to be imported. So again, we're drawing that notification to you right away that you need to import your tax return, and you can also manage the different ones you've imported. So just to recap with TaxPass, it is the last feature I'll be going over, but it can help you market your business being remotely for your taxpayers to download the app, submit their tax return, and you can finalize it within CrossLink Online. And with that said, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to start working with PayJunction, where if you are interested in a credit card merchant service program to capture your taxpayers' payments, we have Kyle on the line, and he will be happy to walk you guys through all of this.
Thank you so much, Priscilla. Thank you, Justin. Did a great job demonstrating the robust feature stack that promotes growth within the CrossLink online software. Again, my name is Kyle Lutz. I am the Strategic Director of Partnerships at PayJunction, and I'm speaking to you today from Durango, Colorado. Glad to be with you here, highlighting good work in this new CrossLink software release to improve your operational efficiencies. The enhancements that I'm speaking to you about today are around electronic payments, specific to in-person, online, and mobile digital commerce. Now, PayJunction is a boutique credit card processor based out of Santa Barbara, California. We've been in business since 2000, and while we continue to differentiate our brand with a strict focus on partnerships in the financial technology space. And that's what I'm here to talk to you about today. Through the use of our credit card processing features built directly into the CrossLink software, you can instantly improve your business operations. Now, while some of you may already be accepting credit cards on a standalone terminal, I'd like to highlight a few of the features that you would receive with the PayJunction direct integration into the CrossLink software. And Priscilla, you can jump into the next slide there. Firstly, our invoicing feature allows you to send an invoice to a customer via email with the electronic itemized detail attached, allowing for payment. With this, you can view the status of the invoice, you can send reminders for open invoices, and most importantly, you can deliver a streamlined user experience. Another feature that is available to you through the PayJunction integration is our recurring payments feature. We store a card on file to the customer's contact record. Now, this data is tokenized, meaning the sensitized credit card details are masked and replaced with a token that's only decipherable on the PayJunction platform, therefore protecting your business and your systems from the challenges of credit card data breaches or compromise. And lastly, I want to highlight the reconciliation efficiencies that will be available to you, giving complete visibility around payments and the money that is being deposited into your account. And by leveraging technology, it eliminates the need for you to chase money that you have already earned. Whether you have one location or multiple, you can see authorized payments, refunds, and outstanding invoices. They're sorted by day, by batch, and by payment type. Within our PayJunction portal hierarchy, it'll give your staff members access to see detail that they need to see to do their job and protecting information that is non-essential. Now, how do I activate this integrated payments functionality, you ask? Well, give us a call. We're going to be following up with our contact information in a post-webinar email blast. And if you're new to payments, we'll handhold you through the features, explain the rate structure, and get your business enrolled. And if you're already accepting payments, we'll review your current rate structure, eliminate any usurious fees, and provide you with a transparent rate structure that delivers the feature enhancements to make your business run more smoothly.
On behalf of everyone here at CrossLink, happy holidays, and we wish you a very successful 2022 tax season. Thanks, everyone.